page 172, 13 through 26, is multiplication of matrices. Now, not all matrices can be multiplied. Community property doesn't work with matrices in multiplication, but you have to check to make sure to see if you can multiply. And the way you check is by writing down the dimensions. If the inner two numbers are the same, you can multiply, and what's on the outer is going to be what your answer's dimension is going to be. So basically 13 through 18, all you're going to do is you're going to state what the answer's dimensions are going to be. You don't have to do any multiplication, but 19 through 26 you're actually going to do. So examples for 13 through 18. They're going to give you a couple matrices, like let's say matrix A is a 3 by 5, and matrix B is a 5 by 2. Can I multiply those two?
Yeah.
Yes, why?
Because the two inner numbers are the same.
They're the same, so it means my answer is going to end up being what? What's left over? 3 by 2. So that's what you're doing on 13 through 18. What if I have matrix C is a 8 by 1, and I want to multiply it times matrix D, which is also an 8 by 1. Can I multiply them?
No.
No. So you'd say, not possible. What if I have matrix D is a 3 by 8, and matrix E is an 8 by 5? Can I multiply?
Yes.
And what will we have, Robert?
The answer would be a 3 by 5.
3 by 5. Okay, does everybody follow what you're doing on the first group?
Yeah.
Okay, the second group, you're actually going to do the work. So remember I said something last, well, I guess it was Tuesday. You know, the pat in the stomach, rubbing your head, well, rubbing your stomach, patting your head. I always get somebody that doesn't want to go all the way over, but it's, in multiplication, you have to take every row multiplied by every column. So that's a key. Every row has to be multiplied by every column. So we'll start with an example for 19 through 26. And this first one, I'll do it, and then the next one I'll have you guys help me do row by column so Greg gets to practice it. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to write down your dimensions of each of them, just to test to see if you can do it. So, Riley, what's our dimensions of the first one? 2 by 3. Chris, what's the dimensions of the second one?
3 by 2.
So are we going to be able to do it?
Yeah.
Yes, and so the answer is going to end up being a 2 by 2. So you already know what it should look like when you get finished. So you got a kind of little check for what you're doing. Now, it states that when we do the multiplication, it's every row by every column. It's every row in this one and every column in the second one. So that means you're going across, and this one where you're going down. Okay, so first row, first column. And it doesn't hurt to use your fingers. First row, first column, you take the first position, 2 times 8 is? 2 times 8 is 16. Then you move to the second position. So that would be 3 times -5 is? -15. Then you move to the third position, 5 times 2 is 10. So row 1 has been multiplied by column 1. Now we move row 2 to column 2. So first position in row 2, or row 1, column 2, what would we get? What's 2 times a -1?
-2.
Then you move to the second position in each the row and each the column. So 3 times 0 is 0. Then you go to the third position. 5 times 3 is
15.
15. Okay, has row 1 been multiplied by every column?
Yes.
Okay, so now you move to row
2.
2. So row 2, first position is
-8.
-8. Second position,
0.
third position.
8.
Now row 2, column 2, first position,
1.
going to be positive 1, right? And second position,
0.
and then third position. Then you add each of those respective groupings together, row 1 with column 1, add that up, so we're going to end up with 11. -2 plus 0 plus 15 is 13. -8 plus 8 is 0. 1 plus 0 plus 12 is 13. And this is your answer. And did it end up being a 2 by 2?
Yes.
I'll make one large enough where everybody's going to get to do a row or column. Let's see, Josie, what's our dimensions of each of them?
3 by 3 and 3 by 2.
So what will we get for an answer?
3 by 2.
So we should end up with 3 rows and 2 columns. Okay, so I'll start us off again and then I'll have you guys start doing your own column. So first row, first column would be 30. Move to the second position, 6. And third position, 8. Okay. Annalyn, what would the first row, second column be?
Would be 45 and -3 and -9.
What, move.
Oh, 6.
And that's the common mistake. You gotta keep on moving, okay? What about, has row 1 been multiplied by every column?
Yes.
So we now go to row 2. So row 2, column 1. Tatum, what would you get for first, second, and third position?
-6, -2.
Move.
Oh, -8 and 32.
Okay, now row 2 times column 2. Robert, first position,
-9.
second position,
4.
and third position.
24.
Okay, has row 2 been multiplied by every column?
Yes.
Okay, so Aaron, you're gonna get row 3, column 1, first position, second, and third. So what's first position?
12.
Second position?
-2.
Third position.
And 12.
Okay. Riley, you've got row 3, column 2, first position,
18,
second,
2,
move.
1, and 9.
Now we add each of those together. So what will we get in the first? 30 plus 6 plus 8 would be what, 44? 45 and -3 and 6, 48. -6, -8 and 32, what, 18? -9, 4 and 24, 19. 12, -2 and 12,
22.
18, 1 and 9.
28.
And did we end up with the right dimensions, 3 by 2? Okay. Another one just to continue. I'm not giving what I want. Okay, we're ready for, Chris, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me the dimensions of each of them.
1
how many?
Oh, 3.
And the second one,
3 by 1.
can we multiply?
Yes.
So we're gonna end up with an answer of,
1 by 1.
which means you're just gonna have one number in front, or inside a matrix. Okay, so Josie, you get first row, first column. That's the only one there is, isn't it? So first row, first column, first position, second position, third. What will you get?
54, 10, and -3.
And then what do we do? Add them all together, so we're gonna get 61.
Yep.
Did we end up with a 1 by 1?
Mhm.
Okay. Another smaller one. Not as small as that last one though. Okay. Evelyn, what is the dimensions of each of these?
2 by 2 and 2 by 2.
So can we multiply it?
Yes.
Our answer will be,
2 by 2.
okay, so Tatum, you get first row, first column.
Okay. It would be 6 and 32.
Good. First row, second column, Robert.
It would be 15 plus 64.
Good. Now, second row, first column, Aaron.
-10 and 24.
Good. And Riley, you got the last one, second row, second column.
Negative 25 plus 48.
Okay, and then we add them together, so what are we gonna get there? 6 plus 32 is 38, 15 and 64,
79,
negative 10 and 24,
14,
and negative 25 and 48.
3.
And did we get a 2 by 2?
Yes.
Okay. And probably don't need to write this one down. We're just gonna do one more practice. I want you to notice something when we do this practice. Okay, let's see. It's Chris's turn, but I'm gonna go to Robert because you guys haven't done any dimensions yet. So what's the dimensions on the first one?
2 by 2,
And the second one?
2 by 3.
Can we multiply?
Yes.
And what will our answer be?
It'd be a 2 by 3.
2 by 3. Okay. Aaron, you're gonna get first row, first column. Okay.
25 plus, 8.
Okay, first row, second column, Josie.
15, 60, 56.
Next. First row, third column.
20 and 16.
Next. You got second row, first column.
Negative 10 plus 1.
Next. Where are we at?
Minus
Right. You got second row, second column.
negative 6 plus 7.
And last but not least, Carissa, what you get?
Negative 8 plus 2.
Okay, adding them together,
31,
what about 33?
33, yeah.
15 plus 56,
71, 36, -9, 1, -6.
and did we end up with what we're supposed to, a 2 by 3?
Yes.
Okay, now, notice what I'm doing. This is my first matrix, I moved it over here. This one's my second matrix, I moved it to the first position. Now, what's the dimensions of this one? We said was a 2 by 3, and the dimension of this one was a 2 by 2?
It won't work.
Yeah, it's not possible. So I wanted to do this to illustrate community property. Community property in real numbers says 5 times 6 is the same thing as 6 times 5. But in matrices, can you multiply matrices and get the same thing?
No.
No. Sometimes you can multiply it, but you won't always get the same answer. But this illustrates that it's not even possible on some of them. Okay, so in your book, page 172, 13 through 18, you're just gonna state the answer if possible. The dimensions of your answer, that is. And then 19 through 26, you're gonna do your multiplications. You guys have questions?
Which ones do you wanna see?
I wanna see the first 7, so through 19. Because the first